single mum Novalee is home from the hospital and things are going really well.
Taja is 10 days old and I found breastfeeding quite easy actually. I've not had any pain, nothing. So it was just like, oh my goodness, I am capable. I can breastfeed.
Auntie, what do you want on your toast?
I've got my support, you know, my niece here all the time. I think in my first couple of nights getting home from the hospital, just being so knackered, and I could hear her crying, but I was like, I'll get up soon, I'll get up soon. And then Charlotte would come in, whether it was 10:30 or 11 at night, and just mooch her until I was like fully awake.
I think the biggest support needed for girls, not just like Novalee, but like myself, is family. It helps. It makes it all easier. And the fact that you know that at the end of the day, partner or no partner, there's still people there that are going to hold your hand and tell you that everything's okay and that you're not doing anything wrong. You know, the more support you have, the better. Makes it easier on yourself and the baby.
Novalee has been proactive about getting as much information on breastfeeding as she can. Today, she's having her latching technique checked with the lactation consultant and her local plunket.
It's important to get yourself comfortable. A lot of people get themselves in very odd angles. So have yourself comfortable, then bring your baby to the breast. Not you leaning over to the baby.
A good latch is the key to successful breastfeeding.
Good girl, she's starting to really want it now. Get her level with your breast. Yep, great. And if you can just turn her to face you a little bit more, she's just leaning out that way. You want her rolled in so she's tummy to tummy. That'd be lovely.
Bring her in close, but let her head tilt back so her chin touches the breast and her nose lines up with your nipple.
Could you just tilt that nipple up to her nose a bit and start the latch so she gets a nice deep latch underneath the nipple. So you just sort of make a little brushing down movement. That's perfect, that's great.
Gently tickle the top part of baby's lip with your nipple or areola. Wait for baby's wide open mouth, making sure her tongue is down. Then quickly bring baby up onto the breast so her bottom lip is pushed back to create a suction cup. Let baby take in a large mouthful of breast, not just the nipple. She'll take more of the bottom part of the areola than the top. When baby feeds, there should be no pain. If there's any pain, then take her off by inserting your finger in the side of her mouth to break the suction and start again.
Now that looked good. How does that feel?
Yeah, that feels better.
Because she's so newborn, she needs a bit of time to learn and practice. And look at her. She's great.
Begin the latch with your baby's chin resting on your breast. Your baby should take your breast and nipple deep into her mouth. When she feeds, you should feel a tug, but no pinching or pain. Breastfeeding will be comfortable for you and effective for your baby. Every woman is different, so find a breastfeeding position that suits you and your baby. The same guidelines for latching can be applied to different breastfeeding positions. This is the rugby hold, and women who have had caesarean births find it particularly comfortable.
And using this bit to roll down again.
Hang on. Get your hand out of
Good
the way.
girl. Oh, that looked great. How does that feel?
Well, that's quite comfortable. Yeah.
Now, if you could just take that thumb away, just so you don't put any pressure on your breast so you get blocked ducts.
Lindsay and her new son are back from the hospital, and the whole family are getting acquainted.
Well, I've got 2 weeks off. I just look after Jack and give Lindsay a chance to get familiar with Ben, the new one, and rest and, yeah, just get used to him myself, I guess.
Ben is 9 days old now, and breastfeeding's going well. He's still relatively sleepy during the first side, so he changes nappy, and Jack always has to have a cuddle. So we do that in between sides, and that usually wakes him up for the second side.
Your milk takes 2 to 3 days to come in, and it's normal for babies to lose a bit of weight at first. Your baby should be back to his birth weight by day 10 to 14. One of the ways you'll know if your baby is getting enough milk as if by day 4 he's producing at least 6 wet nappies in 24 hours.
I've basically been told not to worry too much because he's hardly lost any weight at all, and we've got plenty of wet nappies.
Newborn bowel motions will change in the early days, from the tar-like meconium to a brownish colour on day 3, and then to a yellowish-greenish colour by day 5.
It takes time, but I think you get out what you put in as well. I think it's obviously a natural thing, so it's a good thing for mum and baby to do. Lindsay breastfed Jack for the first year. It's definitely well worth it.
Hello, come in.
There are lots of places you can get help for your breastfeeding if you need it. Lindsay is getting advice from her midwife as she does her regular visit. Women often worry that their babies aren't getting enough milk, but if you feed on demand to begin with, your baby will tell your body how much milk to produce.
The volume of the newborn's tummy is it's tiny. And then the volume of the tummy stretches to about 25 mils. So again, on day 3 to 5, they're still only having small volumes. And then on about day 10, we've stretched to about now. Just, nose to nipple and bringing him to the breast, right?
Ben has been feeding constantly for a few hours in the evening, and Lindsay's wondering if that's normal.
That cluster feeding is really normal newborn behaviour, and the time that he's doing it is normal too. It's the evening. It's always when you're at your busiest. Babies are tanking up for the night, basically.
Varna and Stanley are also home with their new baby.
She's about 6 days old. Yeah, it's been a joy to have. The breastfeeding's going quite well, and the family's enjoying her here. Yeah, they will help out. First few days, I did have sore nipples, but I was told that just keep feeding baby. But I think it was just all the techniques that I was doing that made my nipples sore.
Nipples can be a bit tender in the first week as they get accustomed to breastfeeding, but they shouldn't be sore. Make sure you're latching baby on properly and ask your midwife for help.
Daddy's going to school now.
Stanley right now is doing a bachelor degree in human science. He usually leaves in the morning quite early. He's not here to help out, but then my parents are here and so are my sisters, and they help a lot. I had no idea that breastfeeding will take so much time, how often you have to do it.
Eating a balanced diet and getting the rest you need is important for a breastfeeding mum, so your body can make milk for your baby.
To make sure I get enough rest, I usually sleep when she does, and then once she wakes up, then I usually feel that I've got the energy to keep up with her, and so when she's sleeping, I'm sleeping as well.